Okay, folks, this is the third video about Marge Taylor and these other people. This one began talking about Larry Borsina and Bobby being queers and having sex amongst each other, etc., etc., about Marge Taylor's premeditated murder, possibly murder, about the police chief of Liberal Kansas and his druggie selling children, some of them said to be sheriffs, etc., about other things that they've been doing, child molestation. Now we're on to the third video. We left off talking about Over and Cook, the police chief at the time, and his family. So then we got back to talking about Marge, and so then I had left Marge's house. I was worried not only for my own life and safety, but also I was worried for Candace Wells and her sister Crystal, because of what Marge had said, and I already knew I couldn't go to the law department because they do not enforce the laws and rules legally, and they're breaking the laws and rules. And I've already been informed by the law departments and by the law-breaking people that they are in conjunction with one another, so that the law-breaking people deny their law-breaking, and that the law-breaking government lies and denies their law-breaking, so that they get away with doing the law-breaking against innocent people. Speaking of myself and other people, I would presume would be Candace Wells and her little sister, which was only maybe like 2 or 3 years old. But they started at a very, very young age doing this law-breaking against people and against children. So I left. I figured Jeff Wells, being a sheriff or an ex-sheriff, obviously knew of the government's law-breaking whenever he was in it, because they do not allow people in unless they are of the law-breaking. And then, of course, government people do get out of the government systems due to their law-breaking, because then they decide they don't want to be a part of it no more, but they still are out to be doing law-breaking. Sometimes I'd heard that, and it's a thing that they also will try to trick people, saying, oh, we're in the government, the whole government's doing all the law-breaking, which they're speaking of honestly, but then they will want certain individuals to think that they're not part of that drug government that sells all the drugs, and so they say, I quit my police job or my sheriff's job, so I'm no longer part of that law-breaking, and I don't agree with those law-breaking druggies, you know. But then it's so that they can get other information from people who are not part of the drug people. They will even go to church so that they can add it to their files of people who are not involved with their law-breaking, of how they can use their lawbreakers to break into people's house and thieve from people and attack people in order to get money and worldly material from them that then they get from their lawbreakers and their drug people. That's how the government just makes billions and billions of dollars from the stolen property. Oh man, it's a lot of going on, but you'll have to look at another video later on. In another video, if all goes well, I'll be trying to put a video on here about government files that they keep on people. But so I already knew that Jeff Wells knew about the government, and that also about the Taylors and about Marge and her family and everything, because they do keep track of people and the people that are doing the law breaking. But so I left. In fact, that may be whenever I was being attacked by the government, and they stole everything I had. They used law-breaking people. I think it Mario Martinez or Montana, something like that, and his brothers and sisters and that sell drugs. They had broken into my house several times. I believe put poison in my food, trying to kill me. His dad, who worked at National Beef, may be dead now by old age or maybe not, threatened me that he was going to kill me. But so I was being attacked by also the government. So that may have been whenever I was attacked and was being forced to go all over the USA. Everywhere I went, the government was following me. The law-breaking people was keeping track of me. They would attack me to work, not at a place of employment, but work whenever I was not employed, because their motive was to have me working, being that they could attack me bad enough that I would use their drugs that the United States government is selling and using their drug-selling people who they take bribes from to sell. And that way the town elders in every town and city, the government in every town and city, the law-breaking drug sellers, majority of them Mexicans, in every town and city, would all be getting the work done and getting all my money and worldly material and killing me dead little by little, using me as a slave in the United States of America, land of freedom, which it is not. Okay, so I did leave. I believe that is whenever I went and was being ran all over the USA, just constantly, day and night. I mean, I would stop and the police would show up and attack me for being anywhere, or they would use their lawbreakers, and then if the police would show up, then they would attack me also, and they would threaten me. Look, you hit the road, or look, you start picking up trash, and you start walking down the road picking up trash and put it in the trash can, or we're going to throw you in prison all illegally, and then we will say, you get your ass out there and pick up that trash, was what they threatened me with. That being the case, I was working at National Beef at the time, possibly. I'm thinking that's where I worked at just right before I did leave liberal Kansas due to the law breaking. If that is the case, we're going to shut off this video. I'm going to tell you about whenever I worked at National Beef, and the Army Sergeant Harry King, who was then a National Reserve, attacked me for telling on drug-selling Mexicans, possibly even illegal Mexicans, working out at National Beef, and fired me for telling on them. And also I will try to get talking about Pepsi Cola and Van Calvin, the drugs and the law-breaking going on at Pepsi Cola in liberal Kansas and elsewhere. So let's go on to those other videos. If you'd like to listen to those, look up the title, National Beef, Harry King Sergeant attacking the innocent for not using United States government marijuana that they sell, and Pepsi Cola. Thank you for watching these videos.